What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also to ask me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Your Daughter's a Princess and Your Son's what? See, I was thinking about this because I was listening to something that Zoe Williams was talking about yesterday. And here's the thing. And I've talked about this little princess complex. When you raise your daughters to be princesses, they grow up entitled and spoiled. But on the flip side of that, what did you raise your son to be? Like, because boys, to be perfectly honest, probably have more vast list of things that they're able to be, because they don't just say you're a prince. You can say a lot of stuff. Boys want to be superheroes and heroes and firefighters and cops and athletes. Sometimes I want to be I want to be a doctor. So we don't, even as children, we don't gravitate to I'm a prince, I'm a king, I'm just royal. So we don't have we don't have kind of that entitlement thing being groomed into us, because everything that we want to be is centered around being somewhat of a servant to the people, or innovative or creative. So something you gotta produce to give to people. So the thing about that is, also there's a different part of it where some people let their sons just figure it out. So your daughter's a princess, but your son's and we forget that phrase, train a child in the way that you want them to go. Because if you're training your daughter to be a princess, but you're training your son to be a whatever question mark, what do you think you're gonna get? Because some of the things that grown men are talking about with women is some women have been raised to believe they're princesses. And the problem with that is when you are spoiled and you're daddy's little girl and your daddy's princess, and your mom's little girl, your mom's princess, and you're gonna grow to be a queen, is if this is the ideology that was given to her as a little girl, and that means, and the boys weren't given this regal royal ideology, so they weren't institutionalized to say that they were royalty. Even though king, my sister's I was young king, he's young prince. We don't really do it. It's not as it doesn't. People don't take it seriously with the boys. But the reason I'm saying that is because when these young girls become women and they feel like they're queens and they're empowered, one of the reasons why there's this disrespectful obstinance or adversarial nature is because princesses are looking for kings. But the boys we weren't telling these boys they were going to be kings. They were, you're going to be an astronaut. You're going to be a firefighter. You're going to be, an athlete. You're going to be a police officer. You're going to be a hero one day. Well, here's a problem with that. A princess looks down on all of those things. That's the issue. No matter how great these young boys grow to be men, they're always in a position where they're proverbially, yeah, I'm tired, being looked down on because she's a princess. Now the other thing about that is, if she's a princesses are not synonymous with work. They're synonymous with entitlement. They really don't do much. So you got adults who still have this princess mindset where nobody's good enough because I haven't found a king yet. And this is why, we used to talk about this complex of Disney got these girls messed up because their families all want them to be, every little girl's a princess at some point, and too many take it to heart. But this is not really about the girls as much so as it is about your son's a what. Because what winds up happening is, when it comes to the sons, there is no direction. And the fact that there is no direction leaves it open to be anything. So now you pretty much throwing these sons to the wolves, and there is nothing defined that they're going to be. There is no defined ideology. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be an engineer. You're going to be an astronaut. It's just, you're going to be something. And Godspeed to you, little boy. I mean, it's a rough world out there. I want you to go out into the wilderness. I'm going to give you a switch. And if you can whip a bear with this switch, you're truly great, young man. It's like, so your sons are what? And what happens is, you have a lot of arrested development and a lot of late blooming going on, because most kids in general have no sense of direction. They don't find their passion as a child, or if they find their passion, they don't have the faith in themselves to believe in themselves until they grow to be adults and become what they want to be, because adults and other kids are telling them that they can't be it, and it's not real, it's not possible. You get what I'm saying? So these sons are in a completely different battle, because they're not raised to be princes and kings. And that's the other thing. When you tell somebody they're royalty, it also gives a person a sense, not only a sense of entitlement, but a sense of confidence. And sometimes the confidence is a great thing, because if you believe you're royalty, you believe you can do anything. You believe you're supposed to be in a certain position. But some people believe they're royalty and they're completely incompetent, and they just think people need to bow down to them. That's the negative part of it also. But the other thing about this empowerment thing, somebody else gives you power. Authority or power given to someone to do something. So when people say they're empowering, you got to understand, empowerment is not a self-empowerment. It's somebody kind of knighted you to be in a position. You dig? But this is part of the issue. You're giving power to one gender, and you're letting the other gender try to figure out how to be empowering. Yeah, I'm done. And there's going to be a clash ultimately, because you might have a group, a gender that feel like they're supposed to be somewhere by birthright, and then you have a group who might get to a certain position by their works and they feel like they earned it. So that doesn't go well together, because royalty will only submit to royalty, and incompetent people or exceptional people who are not royalty, will not bow down to incompetent royalty. You dig? So to a degree, this Disney ideology at some points causes problems. because the parents didn't think that, you didn't raise your son to be a anything. So you didn't, and they probably thought that, with your children grow out of certain ideologies, and obviously in society we see that's not the case anymore. So that's my thoughts on this. It's kind of a theory. Just like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.